Blazing, what's good with you? I just saw your email, bro. I'm so late on shit right now. Just been out of pocket, out of whack. But I'm getting back at it, man. Just, ain't really been on the social media platforms and whatnot. Just in passing, but we about to get this together, man. Just blaze up. Check this one out. And we'll get together later. I got some cooking I got to do. So I'll put my earpieces on and I'll hit you up when I'm doing that later today. But I appreciate you being up. What's going on, Free? I ain't going to be here all day on this one, but I had to. I gotta put stops to madness on my shit before I can reach out to the masses, You did. I believe it is in there. I'm gonna double check. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting at a computer. Let me make sure it's in there. But I keep seeing these posts and these memes, and I'm not really sure exactly what people are thinking when they say some shit about what a kid's supposed to do or not supposed to do, this, that, and the other. But I'm seeing it predominantly by young males, not men, males. And I presume that they're black males or blackened males. I don't know. I don't know if they're black immigrants. I don't know if they're descendants. I don't know exactly who they are. They're not freedmen. They're not going to get the freedman tag just because their parents may be from here. They may be descendants. They may have ancestors. They may have ancestors who were riders. Probably have ancestors who were coons, because they coons. So I gotta kind of talk about this whole thing about little boys with these cooking sets, So I put the title up as, what did I put the title up as? Because I forgot. The title is not as important to me as the message. Kitchen sets for boys. Unthinkable. Unthinkable. So I'm really looking to clickbait a motherfucker because I want somebody to say something about why I think it's unthinkable before they watch the post. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for people who like to talk that stupid shit without watching the post. They just take my caption and they take the hashtags and then they leave comments. And that's when we go at them bitches. So we not inside, motherfuckers. We not inside. We gonna stay outside with this. So I've been seeing a lot of posts that some of these punks out here, because I'm going to call them punks, and I'm going to call them sissies, because they think that little boys who get kitchen sets are punks and sissies. But it's not the little boys who get the kitchen sets who learn how to cook who are punks and sissies. The punks and sissies are the motherfuckers who think that little boys shouldn't cook. And it's stupid. But only shit like this comes from stupid ass people. You did not leave your number, Blaze. So if you still up in here, you did not leave your number. You just talked about us chopping it up about doing the cast. So drop me another email, or I'm gonna hit you back right now and tell me and get your number so I can call. Because I don't do this tech shit, especially with creative shit. We got to be able to talk. We got to be able to vibe. So when we get on that, shoot me a text at there we go. So I just sent you an email to tell you to shoot me a text so we can get off this computer and be on our phones, because I'm much more accessible that way. But let's get back to what we was getting into. We're getting into little boys with kitchen sets and how it's unthinkable. It's totally unthinkable. And y'all already know if I'm using that word, y'all know me, I'm gonna break down unthinkable. I just keep seeing these males, and you know, there's probably some females out here because they're not women, they're females. They have female genitalia. They piss when they sit. They lactate. They can give birth, but it doesn't necessarily make them women. Doesn't even make them ladies. They're just females. Okay, I've seen people talk about them, but I've never seen a post. It's mostly these posts that I'm seeing from males talking about how little boys shouldn't cook or little boys shouldn't get kitchen sets. So the only thing that I'd say about that, if you're gonna say anything about that, little boy getting a kitchen set, nah, don't go get him the Barbie kitchen set. Get him that stainless steel front boy, that stainless steel top boy. Get him that. There's a kitchen set out there that's actually made for boys. It resembles a lot of y'all's kitchen now. It resembles our kitchen. It's got the stainless steel, the granite shit on the top. Get them that motherfucker. You ain't got to get on a Barbie set to fucking cook with, you know. If there's an easy bake oven out there for Barbies, they should make a stainless steel, black, gray, whatever, for boys. There's nothing wrong with a boy cooking something in an easy bake oven, you know. But you get these motherfuckers out here who talk this shit about like you can tie somebody's gender and sexuality and all this shit into fucking cooking. It's ridiculous. It's fucking maniacal that somebody would break down the fact that little boys shouldn't cook or little boys shouldn't get kitchen sets. Okay, so why do you go get a little boy a toolbox? Why do you go get him the badge and the gun and the hat and all that shit? Because you're trying to socially engineer them into doing shit that's positive, that might be fruitful for them. Will the little boy become a police officer? Probably not. Will the little boy become a mechanic? Probably not. But y'all need to think the same fucking way when you go get the basketballs, the footballs, the baseballs, the baseball bats, the soccer balls, because your kids aren't going to become professional athletes. But y'all go do that shit because you think your kid is supposed to become a professional athlete. No, you're supposed to build character with athletics. If you end up with one of those chosen few who's just very, very talented and take it to the next level, then consider yourself fortunate. I don't like the word lucky because I don't think anything's lucky when you get to that level. You are fortunate to make it there without injuries, without harm to your body, this, that, and the other. And to be blessed with that type of skill, then you have hard work, then you get to that next level. But you don't just fucking get there just because you want to be a professional athlete. Just so y'all know, the new music today is more copyright-free music. So hopefully YouTube don't hear something in there and try to give me a copyright fucking claim. This is actually cooking music. I chose to go with a cooking music theme, seeing that we're talking about little boys cooking. I ain't no little boy, but y'all know. And besides that, I've made a lot of money cooking. And if I didn't cook as a little boy, and I didn't have a little kitchen, I cooked in the big kitchen. I started cooking on a step stool to the point where I could actually stand in front of the stove. But if I didn't learn how to cook as a little boy, I probably wouldn't have cooked as an adult, and I probably wouldn't have made no money at cooking. So you got to understand where I'm coming from with this. I'm coming from a personal end. I learned how to cook as a child. Now I cook as a man. But these little males out here, these little TV dinner eating motherfuckers, these little fucking Grubhub niggas, they can't cook shit. They can get fast food. They barely can order off of a real menu. But they can poke shit in. They can fill the boxes in on their phone app and get Grubhub and DoorDash, but can't boil 2 fucking eggs. But want to talk about a little boy who fucking cooks? Shit. Ain't shit the difference. Most chefs, famous ones, are men. What's the difference? Nothing's the difference, Shell. The motherfucking real truth is 87% of the executive cooks in this motherfucking world are men. 87%. I got that from a chef herself. Only 13% of the executive chefs in this world are women. 87% are men. So how the fuck do you think they learn how to be cooks? You think they all waited till they were 25, 30 to become cooks? No, they learned how to cook when they were children. They learned how to put that shit together as kids. Did they use easy bake ovens? Probably not. Did they use a Barbie kitchen? Probably not. They probably learned how to cook in a real kitchen. Because they didn't have simp ass people in their life like you raggedy motherfuckers. Yeah. Freedman's Media is back. Freedman Media is back. I had to take a couple days down. But some of the shit that I saw while I was gone, I am embarrassed to even talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Because we got more important shit to talk about. We got to talk about kitchen sets for boys. Because it's unthinkable. It's fucking unthinkable. So we might as well get to it of why I think it's unthinkable. Because if you're just checking in, you're going to be like, well, I thought he was for it. But now he's saying it's unthinkable. Yeah. That's where I need you to be until I break it down. See, some of y'all jump the shark sometimes. Some of y'all know more than I know. I don't know how you know more than I know. And it's just my motherfucking account. I ain't got nobody else on this motherfucking Haps account. It's just me and this bitch. I'm the Freedman. And when I bring other Freedmen on, it's Freedman Media. It's for Freedmen. But this right here, while I'm doing what I do, because I can do that, because I can do like 3 or 4 things at one time. Really, really good. I can do one thing at one time really great. But I can do like 4 or 5 things really, 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 really fucking good. You see how I went up from 3 to 4 to 4 to 5? I'm done selling myself short in this bitch. Everybody gets it all to the face. So, the reason I think it's unthinkable for a little boy to get a kitchen set. I had to dig into the word unthinkable. Similar to the word unimaginable. I'm going to turn the music down. I don't know if I'm cutting out with the music. I don't know how it's sounding. If it's sounding okay, I appreciate it. If it's looking okay, that's even better. But unthinkable, when you think of the word unthinkable, they said similar words: unimaginable, inconceivable, unbelievable, incredible. I know some incredible chefs. I'm an incredible chef. Standard culinary, cannabis culinary. I'm an incredible chef. But I'm unthinkable. Beyond belief. I've had people say my shit tastes beyond belief. They couldn't believe how good it tastes. That's beyond belief right there. Highly unlikely. Yes, it is highly unlikely for you to see cannabis chefs that look like me. It is highly unlikely for you to see chefs that look like me. I don't know the stat from freedmen to Caucasian individuals, but I know they dominate the industry. There's some beautiful black cooks out there, but we do not dominate the industry, even though we are the best cooks on the planet. We were the original cooks on the planet. We were the original cooks on this soil. White folks didn't cook their food on this soil. Who you think cooked their food? Who you think taught white folks how to cook? Don't be scared. Don't be scared to say that shit. I've taught many a white folk how to cook. From an old white man who was looking for a job walking up Fifth Ave, thought he'd stop in and see if I knew anybody was hiring, to hiring him. To little Peter, the delivery driver and shit that went to community high school. He was 17 years old. I taught Peter how to drop fish. 17-year-old white boy from the Eberwhite district in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I taught Peter how to drop motherfucking fish. If you're going to be up in here, baby, you got to be up in here. Peter never had to cook. All he did was deliver food. That's all Peter did, was delivered food. I was so thankful Peter wasn't there on that raid night. That wasn't a good thing. That would have shook Peter's life up for the rest of his days. That would have shook Peter up. Yes, it would have. So, unthinkable, unheard of, implausible, illogical. See, that's why we have what we have right here. Let's just stop with illogical. Let's just stop with illogical. Thanks, Shell. Because I'm not looking at it on another device to see if the screen is right. I'm sure them fucking Lil Nas X hearts are still floating through the stream and shit. So, you know, it is what it is. I done got used to it. I don't even fucking pay attention to it till I see the YouTube cast and shit. I don't really watch the playback a lot of times on Haps. I watch the playback on YouTube because I can go in and out of the screen. Haps needs to figure that out too, where you can leave the app and still play the shit in the background on your phone. Until they do that, I got to watch it on YouTube. It is what it is. Facebook need to do that shit too. Illogical. See, when you get these males out here, and even some of these females who think that a little boy should not have a little kitchen set, it's illogical to them. But if that little boy don't learn how to cook as a little boy, when is he supposed to learn? Because by the time he gets to be a teenager and he can go out and get food at fast food places and restaurants and Grubhub, DoorDash, all that shit, he won't have the desire to cook. A lot of people don't have the desire to cook because you can get food so easily right now. A lot of people don't have the desire to drive because you can do ride sharing so easily right now. But what if all them goddamn apps shut down and you can't reach nobody to get a ride, and you can't reach nobody to get to a restaurant, you can't reach nobody to get a ride to a restaurant? What happens then, motherfucker? And you don't know how to cook. Yeah, I hope you got some milk, bitch, because you about to eat some cereal for a minute. Y'all do remember the blackout. What was the blackout? 2003? The blackout fucked people up. We had no electricity. Motherfuckers was like, what you gonna do, Shannon? I was like, I'm gonna go pull out the grill. Because I need to get that bitch going. I don't know how long this shit's gonna last. They don't have no fucking news for us. So shit's about to start thawing in my freezer anyway. Oh, you got meat like that in your freezer? I'm like, dude, we got enough meat to go for about 3-4 weeks. You just don't open up the cooler that much. So then I'll go to the store on the way home, get some ice bags, put them in a cooler, and start putting that shit in the freezer, because the freezer gonna be thawing. But it's a slow thaw because you don't open the motherfucker that much, and then you have your ice in there, and as the shit starts to thaw, you start putting that ice in that freezer, keeping that bitch cool. I mean, it's got the seal and everything on it. Ain't nobody gonna open that motherfucker unless they going in there to grab something to eat. I worked the blackout beautifully. You gotta know how to cook in this bitch. If you don't know how to cook, you can't eat. And if you can't eat, you will starve. You will starve. You can't rely on another motherfucker to be able to bring you some food. You can't rely on another motherfucker to take you somewhere. You got to be able to drive or get there yourself. Get you a bicycle, a tricycle, a unicycle. I don't know what the fuck. You got to learn how to get somewhere by yourself. All these people that do ride sharing and all this food delivery from other places that don't really deliver food, man, you better hope that fucking internet don't fail you. Fuck your feet failing you. You better hope the internet don't fail you. You need the intrawebs to survive. All I need is some wood and a lighter, and my family gonna eat. We gonna eat. So somebody saying that a little boy shouldn't cook is just maniacal to me. Knowing all the men, they'll say the little boy shouldn't cook, but watch that crazy motherfucker on TV. They be yelling at everybody on the cook show. He's a little boy. Well, he grew up. He's a big boy. And he's up there teaching other boys to cook. So are those people, what do you think they cooked on when they were little? What do you think they cooked on? You think they just all learned how to cook just before they got on that fucking show? You stupid motherfucker. You stupid. You stupid to even think that learning how to cook as a child is a bad thing. And just like you set that little motherfucking hoop up in the corner of your little boy's bedroom and the ball rolls right back to him and he shoots the ball, you can put a kitchen set over there right up underneath that hoop. Build him that netted ramp so the ball comes right back to him so it don't hit that kitchen. Because that kitchen will serve him later in life more than that hoop will. I guarantee it. Hell, even if the motherfucker did make it, even if he did become a professional basketball player, he done by the time he's 28 if he went all the way to the top. Most motherfuckers is done in 5-6 years playing. That's trying to make it to the big league. Then you make it in the little small leagues. Then you're playing in the rec league. You done by 28. Time to settle down. Now what you gonna do? Because if you didn't get that big mega contract, well, if you did get that big mega contract, you'd still be playing. Since you didn't get that mega contract, you got to look for a job because you spent most of that money taking care of your family when you got drafted. Yeah. Most of that initial money you got when you got drafted went to your family. Y'all was broke as fuck. You got the bag. Everybody needed something. You gave everybody something. Now you're 28 and you need a job. Just call it what it is. Call it what the fuck it is. Not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing to take care of your family. Ever. Don't ever let me make you think that I tell you not to take care of your family. I've been there where a motherfucker told me not to take care of a bitch told me not to pay child support and do for my daughter. Just pay child support. You ain't got to do shit for her. You pay child support. Like, bitch, are you crazy? I buy shoes, I buy clothes and shit. I pay for sports and equipment and shit like that. We go places, we go on vacations and shit like that. Can't just pay child support and think that that's good for my kid. I gotta do for my kid. I gotta do for my kid. I gotta do for my grandkids. I gotta do. You can't just pay an agency, let them take their juice off the top, send your baby mama to rest, and say, do right by my baby. I'm here for him. That's some bullshit. Don't let nobody ever tell you not to take care of your family. And the way you take care of your family is you get the maximum, spread it out amongst them the best way you can. I'm not telling you just, sometimes spreading it out this way, sometimes keeping it in and then giving it to them when they need it. Sometimes you can spread it out to the responsible ones. But for a lot of them, you can't just give it to them. Don't just give it to them. Because them motherfuckers will be spending before you leave. You give it to them, they'll be on Amazon and shit before you walk out the door. Buying shit. So don't just give it to them. Make them understand how you got it and what they need to do to go get it so they can give it to their family. Teach them how to fish, as they say. Don't just give them a fish sandwich. Teach them how to fish. There's a lot of motherfuckers on Haps. I guess that midday shit, a lot of people going live at lunchtime and shit. It ain't really lunchtime for me. It's just cushion coffee time. Cushion coffee time with Keith, Brother Shannon, Friedman Media. I'm all them motherfuckers. Oh, I'm also Chef Kiefer Brotherland. Shay Keith. And I'm black. And I was a little boy with a kitchen set, but it was just our actual kitchen. It wasn't up in my bedroom. I never had a kitchen set in my bedroom. My bedroom wasn't big enough and shit. I had my desk, my bed, a little makeshift DJ station and shit. It was really just started out as a boom box with an extended speaker. Then I got turntable and mixer and all that shit. You know, I never went to the double turntables. I never got big time. I had turntables and a cassette player with the mixer. Yeah. I had one Technics 12. Never got two. It's all good. I was never a serious DJ. I was never a serious rapper. I just loved music and I loved the way the shit went together. So, you know, I did what I needed to do. I learned how to record on a reel-to-reel. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I could edit on a reel-to-reel. I could record on a reel-to-reel. I learned on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a mental space right now that I can't be broken. And there are forces in this world that try to break you like on a daily basis. Literally try to break you. That's what they're sitting here for. And it's not always people, so I don't want everybody to always think that like it's people that do things to you to stop your shit or stop my shit. I don't complain about people a lot of things. I complain more about situations. I complain about scenarios and that I want them better. But individuals, I rarely complain about because an individual is an individual. They're either going to be productive or they're going to be non-productive. And they can be on their way to either side. You can have a productive motherfucker who works his way to non-productive, and you can have a non-productive motherfucker who finally gets it and becomes productive. So as long as you're moving to either side, I can fucking deal with you. So trying to figure out why people would think I can always go to white supremacy. White supremacy makes us do a lot of things, but this is our thing here. As a people, when we think that we shouldn't become things, like I said, illogical is something because they don't think that little boys should do that. I just don't understand how you think a man becomes a cook if he didn't cook as a child. Then it says it's impossible. Out of the question. That's literally one of the entries. Out of the question. So there are males out here. This does not imitate what we hear and see. This is what we hear and see. There are males out here who will not want their little boy to cook. Then their little boy sees them not cook. They see them just getting food ordered in, or they go to restaurants or go to drive-thrus. So they never see their daddy cook. This is the weird shit. So you never see your daddy cook, and then your daddy says that it's not good for you to cook. So nobody's cooking. You're with your dad a lot. And your dad tells you that it's a bad thing for you to cook as a little boy, and he doesn't cook as a grown man, so to speak. And he tells you not to cook. Sooner or later, something's going to click in one of the kids' eyes. And he's going to be like, well, damn. I don't know why I did a blink and shit when I did that, but I did. Anyways, he's going to be like, so this motherfucker doesn't cook, because you're going to go from daddy, in a matter of speaking, like you're going to go from daddy or mom, because I know there's women out here who don't think that their little boy should cook. And they're the ones that take their kids to fast food places and everything. Because a real mama, she wants her son sitting right there because she's going to teach her son how to survive. Don't you rely on a woman to cook no food. You be able to cook your own food. That's what I was told. My mother told me, don't rely on a woman to make no meal for you. You learn how to make your own meal. That's why I know how to make food as well as I know how to make it. Because I learned how to cook food the way I liked it. Whether anybody else likes it or not, I like it because I was taught to cook food to make sure I could survive. And I lost my way in my late teens and early 20s and into my 30s and shit, and did a whole lot too much fast fooding and just bad eating and this, that, and the other, and stopped cooking the way I should have been. And blew the fuck up all the way to 500 motherfucking pounds. Got out of pocket with it. I was just telling the dude, they said if I hadn't played sports as a child, I would have been dead because my body structure had built up that muscle mass. And some of us have talked about this before. Some of us haven't. Everybody ain't been riding the whole time during my journey. So I knew I had to lose, but I didn't realize that I had to lose weight to live until they started talking that shit. Like 3-4 years, this is gonna break down, bam, bam, bam. Then it got to a motherfucker like, oh, you're not gonna see your daughters graduate from college. You're not gonna see your daughters graduate from high school. And it was like, oh, I better lose some weight. Because they was going to junior high. They was gonna be going to high school soon. So man, I had to do something, right? I had to do something. So I did something. And I chose to go through the bariatric process and all that shit, man, just to fucking live. Not to be some fashion model and shit. I was just trying to live, like be around this bitch for my kids, for my grandkids. Well, at that point, there was no grandkids. I was hoping that I was going to get grandkids, and I got grandkids, and I got more grandkids coming. And my grandson, he already likes cooking. He's cooked with my lady a couple times. You know, you let them play the way they see you play, you let them play. You know, and he's made food with her. You know, hell, my granddaughter, she's done set up on the counter and seen the way things are put together. You show it to them first, and then when they develop that control where you can have them help you do stuff, you put them up there and you have them start doing their thing. You know, you get them started early, and it triggers. See, I'm gonna use this word differently the way y'all use it. A lot of people say, "Oh, I was triggered," and it's usually some negative shit. Well, some nigger shit. I didn't say nigger. I said nagger. It's usually some negative shit. So, but I'm gonna use triggered as a positive thing. It triggers the mind to think something differently. You're not thinking about a ball, a bat. You're not thinking about running and jumping. You're not thinking about singing and dancing. You're thinking about creating something with your hands and your mind. So when you create dishes, you create that with your mind first. Then you use your hands and your eyes. Your body ain't got to get beat up. You ain't got to run nowhere. You ain't got to strain your vocal cords. You're just using your God-given talents and learned abilities. What male wouldn't want that for his son? I don't want you to use your hands, son. I don't want you to use your eyes, son. I don't want you to use your brain, son. You are some stupid motherfuckers. This is why it's unthinkable for little boys to have kitchen sets. Unthinkable. Absurd. It's absurd to have somebody think that. It's a bad thing. It's unthinkable. See, I done flipped the word unthinkable around to the point where, yeah, it is unthinkable. Because we have been socially engineered into believing stupid shit and not going with our natural capabilities. There's probably so many people out here who probably could cook really well if they just gave it a try. You know, I see these kids out here doing this shit with the shoes and the clothes and stuff. That's a creative spirit. That's a creative spirit. Those are people probably who could also make like decorative dishes. If you can decorate some fucking gym shoes, you probably could decorate a cake. You probably could decorate an entree, you know, a buffet spread. You have that type of capability. You have that eye, you know, to creativity capability. But y'all don't want your kids cooking, or you don't want your little boys cooking. 87% of the executives in culinary are men. But you don't want your boy doing it. I'm gonna see if he can put this ball in his hoop and get drafted. He get drafted, we be set. Put this football in his hand, man. Win the Heisman and be #1 pick in the draft, we be set. Stupid motherfuckers. You dumb. You dumb to even think something like that. You're gonna give your kid half a life. She was people living out here 60, 70 years old. Kid be dumb before he's 30. He got the rest of his life. He got the other half of his life to live with no skills other than what he learned how to do. Play a basketball, football, baseball, whatever. That's dumb. Teach your kid to be able to do something his whole life. Fucking dummies. So, it is what it is. What up, though? I know that's somebody from the hometown. You an anonymous Facebook user on Haps. That's what I'm looking at it through. So I don't know who that is, but I see you in the chat. Appreciate you coming through from the Facebook side. Let's light it back up because we gotta finish all these motherfucking unthinkable synonyms to unthinkable. Unreasonable, preposterous, Ludicrous. It's ludicrous to think that a little boy should have a kitchen set. Now, what if Ludacris was doing a commercial with his son cooking at a kitchen set? Ludacris the rapper. Because y'all motherfuckers love buying shit that's promoted by rappers. You bought McDonald's because of Travis Scott. You're buying Popeyes because of Megan Thee. You love buying shit that is endorsed and promoted by rappers. So what if Ludacris got his little boy a kitchen set and did a commercial with it? Y'all motherfuckers would basically go out and buy 10 of them bitches for your sons and your nieces or your nephews and shit. Because then Ludacris, he said it was good to do, so now you're going to do it. That's why we do shit. We do shit because we see entertainers do shit. We don't do shit that's fruitful for us. We do shit because, we think some celebrity type done put their stamp on it. No, they signed a contract to do a commercial. That's what they did. To make you want to buy that. They're not a part of your movement. His son probably doesn't even cook. His son probably has a housekeeper. If his son cooks, it's totally out of a want. His next generation, his son is taken care of for the rest of his life. I'm sure Ludacris has cooks and housekeepers. And maybe he sits up in the kitchen with the cook and housekeeper. That used to happen a lot back in the slave times. That's why a lot of white boys learn how to cook, because they would sit up in the kitchen with the slaves who were cooking, who were black women, and they learned how to cook by watching the black women who were slaves. Yeah. Thank you. Outrageous. Shocking. What's so shocking about a little boy cooking something? It's unthinkable, because these motherfuckers who are saying this shit are unthinkable. It's unthinkable. But the way I have described unthinkable, it's totally different than the way these people are saying it's unthinkable. That's right, I clickbaited people. So hopefully you didn't come in the middle of this shit, because you're probably totally lost. Like, what is he talking about? Which side is he on? How am I going to be able to get mad at him? The last one, we say this a lot now, when motherfuckers are not on code. When people are not on code, that's unthinkable. I mean, if I'm not on code, it's unthinkable to me. And here is one of the synonyms to unthinkable is not on. Not on. That's crazy. That's a synonym to unthinkable. Not on. N-O-T space O-N. Not on. But you are on. If you learn how to cook as a child and you carry that through your teen years, you carry that into your adult years, trust me, you're on. Oh, you on. You're not on to something, but you're on. When you're young, you're on to something. Once you get to be an adult, nah, you're not on to something. You're just on. But the motherfuckers who think that you shouldn't do it as a child, they're not on. They're not on. Freeman Media thanks you. Brother Shannon thanks you. Here's the thing. You come here, you're going to, here's the thing. You're going to hear something. Hopefully you learn. Hopefully you understand. There's so many other platforms out there that you can check out. So many other platforms. But is anybody going to be where I am? Probably not. They'll be better. They'll be better. I ain't gonna lie. You know, motherfuckers will be better. They'll have more technology. They got all the equipment, all the graphics and shit like that. They'll be better. Absolutely. So many platforms out there that are better than mine. What about that message, though? What about that message? You can have all the lights. You can have all the cameras. Bitch, I give you the action. Y'all niggas, all y'all do is stay on y'all computers. Y'all stay inside. The reason I know the shit I know is because I've been outside. You hoe ass bitches, I've been trying to tell you. Don't let A square fool you, motherfucker. I've been outside. I used to deliver dinners over in Brightmoor and shit. Yeah. Miss the address, be walking up the street and shit with a dinner. Motherfuckers mean mugging me and shit. Okay. This is before I actually lost a pound. This is before I lost a pound. You know what I'm saying? Our motherfuckers out here, they really got it going on inside. They show y'all a lot of shit. Like right on the cameras. But is this shit for the cameras or is this shit to like take care of business outside? Like I move outdoors. The shit that I do inside ends up being outside. Some of you motherfuckers just be inside. Some of y'all motherfuckers just hit live and end stream. And nobody ever sees you outside. You don't create shit doing that way. You can't just be inside all the time and not have that go outside. I gotta look this word up because I gotta make sure this word, I wanna use this word. Hold on a second. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is. Because if I say it wrong, then I'm gonna hurt myself. I mean, not like hurt myself, but. Yes. Okay. See, I thought that's what it meant. When you do what you do on camera, you have to, I mean, consistently, if you call what you call something, like, you know, some people have names for their shit. Like for a long time, I didn't have any names. It was just like I just hit record and I would just be on video. And they'd be like, oh, what's your podcast name? I'd be like, Shannon. You know, it really didn't fucking matter to me because I didn't give a fuck what the name was because the message was what it was. And, you know, sooner or later, I'd come up with some names, different names, whatever. I've had several names. I've had several names, several different podcasts, whatever, you know. Always spoke from the same vein, just maybe not with the same depth. So when I decided to like really get more serious into the casting thing, you know, I looked at radio again, you know, but radio really wasn't for me to go back into. The way they were treating people and starting to treat people as I exited radio, I'm talking about radio up and down the dial type of radio, not internet radio. Because sometimes when I'm talking radio, some people be thinking I just be talking internet radio, and I don't be talking no internet radio. This internet radio is new. I'm talking real terrestrial radio, up and down your dial, AM, FM, motherfucker. Some of you motherfuckers just learned about radio through internet radio. No. mean, you knew what a radio was, but you really don't know that. But yeah, so I was in that business, and I matriculated into that business. The word matriculate, to enroll as a member of a body, especially a college, university. What about the universe? It doesn't need to be a school, like brick and mortar school, old buildings and shit, you know, some built by slaves. You know, people use slave labor to build colleges. So we always have to make sure some of these colleges that people go to were built by slaves. I mean, they were built for free because people owned slaves. They didn't pay them. Slaves didn't make any money. They didn't have a union. So some of these colleges that your kids go to were built by enslaved individuals. So when you enroll as a member of a body, and especially of a college or university, I am enrolled in neither, but I am enrolled in the universe. I am enrolled in the universe. How long have we been on? We've been on for 48 minutes because that's how long the music's been playing. So that's how I have to keep my time since Haps got rid of the fucking timer on your cast. You can't see how long you've been on anymore because they took that feature away too. Y'all take the timer away, but then you put in Lil Nas X colored hearts. What the fuck is really going on in this bitch? What the fuck is really going on? I lose a timer and I gain a Lil Nas X heart. We winning. We winning in this bitch. So any of you simp ass bitches out here that think that little boys shouldn't have kitchen sets, please pull up. Pull up on this post. Hopefully you've watched up to this point and you just didn't see the caption and try to comment. But I want y'all to say something out of pocket about this shit in the comment section without watching this video. Because then I'm going to take you right to this point when I told motherfuckers to watch the video. Now I know that you didn't watch the video. Now I'm going to cuss your motherfucking ass out and your mama. How about that? It's holiday season. I'm doing 2-for-1s. I'm cussing motherfuckers out. I'm cussing motherfuckers out and I'm cussing their mammies out. How about that? Yep. So bring your mammy if you got shit to say about little boys with kitchen sets, because it's unthinkable. As said by Brother Shannon on Here's the Thing on Friedman Media. One love. Peace Free, Shell, Blazing, Anonymous Facebook user, and anybody else who's been in here but ain't saying shit. I know there has been more people in here. It's all good. Much love from Friedman Media. Peace to my Friedman on deck. Prime legend. Little young ass motherfucker. One love.